They're jealous of you because they thought your life would get worse without them, but it actually got better. Jealous people hate when you can thrive and survive without them. Some people believe that they absolutely hold the key to your happiness, that without them being around, somehow you're going to lay down and just be no more good. Like you just can't do anything in life without them. Like you need them constantly there trying to micromanage everything you do. Like you can't think for yourself. And when they see that you didn't really need them to be around, you was not intrigued by their controlling ways, you were actually more annoyed, and by them dismissing themselves, that just opened up the opportunity for you to thrive. See, you often see this with a lot of jealous men. When men are jealous of women, when they like to criticize and control everything that a woman does, that is oftentimes them displaying their misplaced anger, misplaced resentment, and their overall jealousy toward that woman. See, a lot of women feel suppressed as if they can't really express their true potential, as if they can't really go after the things they truly want, because there's some jealous man sitting over in the corner looking at her like she's doing too much. And you have this with women as well. When you're around jealous people, jealous women, like friends, family members, people you might have known for a long time, and they always believe that they have to somehow try to control your every move, give you their 2 cents on the things that you're doing. If you are accustomed to that behavior, you'll let it hold you back from doing the things that you want to do. But when that person dismisses themselves, if they ghost you, if they go away, if the relationship drifts apart, if they decide, they don't want to be with you anymore, a man. Sometimes, ladies, the rejection of a man, a dusty man, a man who is not really benefiting you in much way other than just being a companion. And being a companion is great, but if he brings more toxicity, more tension to your relationship, that is not somebody you need to be with. But a man who's like that, when he dismisses himself and suddenly now you feel like a weight is lifted, like you can now get about your business, now you can start leveling up. And oftentimes that's what happened when a lot of women are dismissed or they dismiss the men from their relationship. Their life gets better. And unfortunately, many people don't realize that other people are holding them back until they are so deep into the relationship where they feel like they have no way out. And that's why it's important that you vet the person you're with from the beginning before you get married. But I digress. But when you're dealing with a jealous man, all of a sudden when he sees that he's gone and now he hears your name being mentioned around the way, you're doing great things, you have a new job, you started a new business, he runs into you at the mall or runs into you at the store and see you looking cute and unbothered, he's going to become a hater. And don't be surprised if he starts spreading little rumors about you to whomever will listen. Jealous men can be just as bad as women, as many of you say in my comment section. I already know that, but jealous men, they can be just as bad, if not worse, than women. And the reason being, in my opinion, is because so many men believe they actually control the happiness of women. A lot of women are starting to realize that children are not the number one stressors for a lot of women, it's men, especially when you attach yourself to the wrong man. A man who is jealous and envious of you, or he has that deep-seated envy where it's secretly hidden until something changes, until something happens. And you'll see that when you want to level up in some way. If you're with a man who is secure within himself and he sees you wanting to do better for yourself, wanting to look better, wanting to speak better, whatever your changes might be, you're working on your intellect, you want to go back to school. If you're doing those things and you're with a man who's secure, he will have no problem with you leveling up. But a man who is jealous, he will see your level up as a threat to his manhood, as I have said in previous videos. And when that type of man sees you doing a little bit too much, he might begin to feel like you're out of his league and dismiss himself. And when he does that, it might be hurtful because you're used to him being there. But a lot of women have to understand that when a jealous man dismisses himself from your life, that is your opportunity to shine. That is your opportunity to truly become the woman you want to become, because now you don't have that heavy weight of a negative, toxic energy man, an insecure man who just feels rattled anytime you level up in some way. You don't have to worry about that anymore. It's very freeing when you get away from those kind of people. Even women, jealous friends, when they dismiss themselves, when they're no longer comfortable in your presence because you're doing too many great things, look at that as a blessing. As they say, rejection can be a blessing in disguise. And when people walk out of your life sometimes, I believe, just the way I see it, sometimes I think God sets that up so that way you can actually thrive more in your life. Because I believe that a lot of times we will not dismiss people or let people go because we're so used to them being there. So God kind of has to shut the door on the relationship. And I know in my life, a lot of things had to happen in order for me to really detach from some toxic people in my life. And do you know what happens when you detach yourself from toxic people? When you allow those jealous, negative energies to leave your life, you start leveling up in every way. And it's not that even you put in like time and effort to really do it. You will begin to level up, number one, in your mind. When you are around toxic, negative people all of the time, somebody who has secret jealousy towards you, when that person leaves your life, you will suddenly feel like, I can do whatever I want to do now. I don't have to worry about, him sitting over there looking at me like he has some kind of problem because I'm studying for school. I don't have to worry about her over there, giving me the side eye because I'm talking about the new business venture I have. I don't have to worry about him, saying little smart remarks about my promotion at work. I can do what I want to do because that negative energy is gone. That toxic, jealous spirit is gone. So a lot of us, we like to hold on to those toxic, negative, jealous people because we're used to them being there. And in the process, we're holding ourselves back. Contrary to what people think, it is not healthy for somebody to always critique everything that you want to do, be it positive or negative. Of course, constructive criticism is a good thing. But when you're trying to do something good in life, the last thing you need is for, especially from a man, from anybody, but as a woman, and if you're in a relationship with this man, you don't need to have good things happening in your life or for you and have somebody that's not on your side. You don't want to be in a relationship with your enemy. And a lot of times women don't realize they're in a relationship with the enemy. They're sleeping, as they say, with the enemy. You're with someone who does not want to see you prosper beyond where they can take you. And that is not healthy. That's not healthy for a relationship between husband and wife, fiance and, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or for friends. That's not healthy to be with somebody who doesn't want to see you go but so far because they can't handle it. And that's the reason why when jealous people leave your life, you should see that as a blessing, especially a jealous man. And don't feel bad when he starts spreading rumors about you, saying you weren't the best wife, you weren't the best girlfriend, you weren't the best this, you weren't the best that. Men who are not accustomed to expectations and accountability, they're not accustomed to a woman expecting something from them. Of course, you're going to be a villain. If you expected support, and a gaslighter is good for this. If you expected them to show you support in the thing that you're doing, or at least, be there for you to listen, and they couldn't do that because their jealousy was so deeply rooted that they felt uncomfortable when you talked about the good things happening for you, that is an absolute blessing that that person is no longer in your life. Jealous men, jealous people in general, but a jealous man toward a woman in a relationship, that can be very dangerous. A lot of women have lost their lives dealing with men who could not handle the fact that they were beautiful, that they actually, men were attracted to them, not of their own doing, but they were beautiful women. They had good careers. They lived in nice places. Anytime a man walks in your home and automatically says something about money, that is a red flag, and you need to run from that man. Do not go any further with a man who always brings up money, your money, in your presence, who looks around at you and says things like, oh, you're big money, oh, you're a boss now, oh, this and that. That is a red flag in a man who will show his jealousy sooner or later. But you do not want to try to make someone who's jealous stay in your life. If that man wants to dismiss himself, let him go. Do not try to hold on to the toxic energy because it's something that you're used to. Because jealous men and jealous women alike, they can be very destructive and chaotic. And who needs that when you're trying to level up? And speaking of leveling up, you will begin to level up once that person leaves your life because you don't have that toxic weight on you. You will begin to look better. You will begin to feel better. You should get more spiritually grounded because now you have dealt with someone who is so toxic and jealous. I can tell you, if you deal with somebody long enough who has deep-seated jealousy towards you and you feel like you constantly have to suppress yourself, that can sour your spirit and it can break your confidence. And you don't want to stay with someone who's constantly trying to deplete your confidence. And jealous men have a way of doing that. They have a way of breaking you down to the point where you don't even want to try to do anything better. You're just like, hey, what's the point? It's not going to work. Men, very toxic, jealous men, they can be very sneaky that way. So you want to make sure that you are not putting up with a man who does not have your best interests at heart. That's what it comes down to. If you have to be at a level 0 in order for that man to feel comfortable with you, that is not the man for you. And it's not to say that he has to be a top tier, striving for the world kind of man, but he should at least, a decent human, should be able to encourage his woman. And you have some men, they're so spiteful, so jealous, so hateful toward the women that they're with, which is weird, that they can't be that supportive presence that you need. And that's unfortunate for many women. And that leads me to this epidemic of men hating women. Have you ever noticed that a lot more men are growing more closer to one another in their hate toward women? They're always talking about women need to be held accountable for this. Women need to be held accountable for that. But men, especially when they're jealous and insecure, they don't understand that what they want as far as a woman, they have to be the traditional man and be a secure man in order to get that. A lot of men are talking about accountability, but when they come across a woman who has expectations of them as a man, they don't know what to do. It's like they're like a chicken with the head cut off, like they used to say back in the day. And it's because a lot of people don't understand that words have actions or should have actions behind them. Pretty much women look for consistency. And when a man is not consistent, when a man is not a man of his word, you can't respect a man like that. And women like to waste a lot of their lives, unfortunately, dealing with men who do not follow through on the things that they say. You know, it's like you cannot live your life based on, well, I'm going to, I wish I could. You know, you can't live your life constantly waiting for a man to fulfill his potential as a man. And as a woman, when you decide, you know what, I'm not married to this man, so I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to go about my life. He will become very jealous because you would not wait for him to get himself together. If a man is past the age of 30, I would say past the age of 25, there is no reason why you should be waiting around for a grown man to be a grown man. And you should not allow that man with all his messiness into your life to distract you from your purpose. This is not really about just jealousy only. This is just about having wisdom as a woman and getting into the relationship with the right kind of man. Because what's happening, a lot of women are getting into these relationships because the man is cute, he's saying all the right words, and then he's going to have you in a situation where now you are just waiting for him to dictate to you how you should live your life. You're waiting for him to dictate to you when you should make a move because he hasn't made a move. You do not want to be with a man who is so complacent that he will hold you back. That is the point. Because if you deal with a man who's like that and he has that jealousy and envy towards you, when you begin to say, you know what, I'm not waiting, I'm going to do my thing while you figure out your thing, he will become a thorn in your flesh. He will become a nuisance to you. He will become a hindrance to your progress. And as a leveled up, wise woman, you don't need that. So when it comes to dealing with jealous men, don't deal with them. But if you're dealing with a man and he decides to leave your life and he thinks he's doing something bad to you, watch how quick your life changes and how it gets better when you get rid of that jealous, negative, bitter root that was in your life. Sometimes when people leave your life, it's the best thing for you. It might hurt in the moment, but I guarantee you it will benefit you in the long run if that person was a jealous hater who was doing nothing but holding you back anyway. All right? Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.